Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So let's get on to covering the multiple choice questions for prelims 2020 and question number 1. What are the purpose of district mineral foundations in India? So we need to answer about the district mineral foundation. So options are number 1, promoting mineral exploration activities in the mineral rich districts. Alright. Second is protecting the interest of the people or persons affected by the mining operations. And the last is authorizing the state governments to issue licenses for mineral exploration. Now herein, this is a 2016 question and a district mineral foundation was very much in news back then. So any serious aspirant should either way be knowing the answer here. But let's say you do not know the answer, then how to proceed? So basically here, number 1 keyword is the foundation. And second of all, statement number 1 and 2 are the contradictory. If at all a foundation is to promote the mineral exploration, then it cannot protect the interest of the persons affected by that very operation, because mining exploration or the mineral exploration are per se something inherently bad for the people residing over there. That's a given thing. So option number 1 and 2 are the contradictory, so they cannot be answer in the same very option. And we are seeing option number 1 wherein both are there, and so is the case with option number D. So A and D are either way gone and we are left with B and C only. So let's look at the statement number 2, which is protecting the interest of the persons affected by the mining operations. Alright, so this 2 could be an answer, but C is 1 and 3. So what is 3? Authorizing state governments to issue licenses for mineral exploration. Now this does look little absurd because we are to talk about the foundation here, and foundation are a sort of trust, and trust are some sort of entity to protect the interest of the people. It has a welfaristic tone in it, so this can't be the answer. So either way answer is D, that is that district mineral foundations in India, they are set up to protect the interest of the persons affected by the mining operation. That's it. And let's look at the explanation here because it's really important. So basically it's a trust set up as a non-profit body where in those districts affected by the mining work, to do what? To work for the interest and benefit of the persons or the people affected by the mining related operations. Alright, and from where they would be getting the funds? From the miners itself. So those people, those companies who are carrying out the mining operations in that very area, they would be needing to contribute amount into this very fund. So government's not going to contribute anything here. It's to be appropriated from the people who are getting the benefit of those very mining operations, and basically the companies are the beneficiaries here. So let's not deviate too much. Either way we've gotten the answer. Its manner of operation comes under the jurisdiction of the relevant state government. This too is important. Who is to regulate these district mineral foundation? The relevant state government. So that's it. So let's get on to the next question, which is really simple. So there has been a persistent deficit budget year after the year. So that's a given thing. Already they have stated that yes, there is a deficit budget year after year. So which actions of the following can be taken? Which of the following action can be taken by the government to reduce the deficit? So how to reduce this deficit now? Budget deficit. So basically what is deficit? That means expenditure is more than the income. So either we are to decrease the expenditure or we are to increase the income. So which of the 3 measures are doing this? Number 1, reducing the revenue expenditure. So as such we are reducing the expenditure. Even if you do not know what is revenue expenditure per se, then also it's absolutely fine. We are reducing the expenditure. That's how we'll be coming out of the deficit budget. Second, introducing new welfare schemes. So schemes are definitely that something for the welfare of the people, but they need money, so that's a way of increasing your expenditure. So that's not gonna help us in dealing with the deficit. So that's gone. That is wrong. Last is rationalizing the subsidies. So subsidies are a sort of transfer payment to the people. लोगों को बस ऐसे ही पैसा दे रही है government, maybe in cash or kind, but let's not deviate. So basically subsidies are to be limited. So that's mean we'll be curbing our expenditure here. That's so self-explanatory. So that's how we have gotten our answer. It's the C, that is 1 and 3, and only option number 2, that is introduction of new welfare scheme, is not a right answer here. So we have gotten our answer. It's really simple, but if you haven't gotten, then do let me know in the comment section. We'll go through it once again, but let's not deviate too much, and let's get on to the next question, which is here. The establishment of payments bank being allowed in India to do what? To promote financial inclusion. That's not a question, that's the statement they have already given us. So what we are to answer is this. So which of the following statements are correct in this context about the payment bank? Definitely. So what are the statements? Number 1, mobile telephone companies and supermarket chains that are owned and controlled by the residents are eligible to be promoters of payments bank. So this is a right statement indeed, because payment bank 2 was all over in news back then, and in fact it's in news right now as well. So yes, it's correct that even mobile telephone companies, supermarket chains, and you can think of as Airtel payment bank, right? So Airtel is basically a mobile telephone company, so they can be the promoter of the payment banks, as we have seen here. And second is payment banks can issue both credit cards and debit cards. So let's say we do not know whether it's right or wrong. Let's read statement number 3. Payment banks cannot undertake lending activities. So 2 and 3 are little contradictory, because statement number 2 is categorically stating that they can issue the credit card. It means they can lend the money. But statement number 3 is they cannot undertake the lending activity. So we can't be having both 2 and 3 in our answer. But statement number D is having 2 and 3, so it's gone. Statement number 1 is either way in the answer, so that's how C is also gone. So we are to check between A and B here. So basically, yes, that's right, that payment banks cannot undertake the lending activity. Why we're not calling them a bank? We can call them small bank or big bank, but why we're just calling them payment bank? Why a partial name? The partial name, because they are not complete bank. They cannot undertake the lending activities. They cannot offer money to the people on loan. So that's how they are. So yes, payment banks cannot undertake lending activities. This is our answer, and that's how we have gotten our answer, which is what? Which is B. It's right here, 1 and 3. So if we've gotten our answer, let's not deviate too much, and let's get on to the last question, which is here. So what is the purpose of the marginal cost of fund-based lending rate announced by the Reserve Bank of India? So this is a very simple question. So basically we are to talk about the marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. Who has announced it? The Reserve Bank of India. So if we know the answer, then it's well and good. But let's say we do not know. We have no idea. We have never heard of this term before. So how to proceed now? So let's read it first. So these guidelines help improve the transparency in the methodology followed by banks for determining the interest rates on advances. All right. Second is, these guidelines help ensure availability of bank credit at interest rates which are fair to the borrowers as well as the banks. Now both of these statements are really good. First is talking about the transparency that is to be brought into in terms of at what rate the banks are lending their money to the people, and second is about the fair rate at which the money would be available to be taken by the borrowers from the banks. So both of these statements are quite giving us a positive sense. And second of all, this term here, that it's the marginal cost of fund-based lending rate. So basically it's a lending rate, the rate at which money is to be lent to the people, and it has been announced by the Reserve Bank of India. So nothing seems inappropriate here. So even if you do not know what this is, still you can think of it, both of the terms, as right. So answer is C. So either way, it was really simple because it was in news back then. And in fact, it's in news right now as well, because it's a static thing. But just because it's our purpose is to go for the elimination strategies here. So even if you didn't know, still based on the terminology given, this is a good thing about economics, that the terminology itself explains everything if you just try reading it carefully. So basically, it's a lending rate that too announced by the Reserve Bank of India. So both of these statements are correct. And most importantly, what is this exactly? So do Google it on your own, because it's really, really important. And whatever source you are referring to for your basic, that must be given there also. So read it carefully, and we are done. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.